Hey guys, Dan Heilman back with another video. Today we're going to be talking about how to find strong altcoins. What does it mean to be a strong altcoin? How do you look for some reversals and some different singles like that? We're going to talk about Litecoin. We'll talk about Binance Coin. We'll talk about a couple other altcoins. We will first begin with Bitcoin because obviously Bitcoin is the main character in these crypto runs. So we'll talk about that first. Right now we are in pretty much a bull flag. You know, we have a move up and then now we're just kind of consolidating into this triangle here, and we should have a breakout in the next couple of days, either up or down. Now, sometimes you have a fake out to the bottom side and then a pump through. I think the overall direction is still going to be up till at least 130K. If we can get up to 130K, we might then cool down for a while, but we could also just pump into mid-August. We have seen some moves like this in the past, so maybe we'll see something like that. So Bitcoin dominance is continuing to go down. We do have another trend line down here that we might see a little bit of a temporary reversal. I'm not quite sure. It's really hard to say because, you know, so many different things can happen in the macro market, but ETH dominance has been pumping like crazy in these altcoin seasons. If this truly is a full-fledged altcoin season, we're at least in a mini altcoin season, but if this will last for quite some time, usually what happens is the money will go from Bitcoin, it'll go into Ethereum, then it'll go into the higher cap coins like Solana, XRP, you know, top 10, top 20 coins, even Litecoin now. And then we'll start moving into medium caps and small caps. So we're going to talk about a couple different coins. We're going to try to be fairly quick. Another thing I've talked about in other videos is stablecoin dominance. You can find this chart on TradingView, and I'm looking for this to come back down and test this support line, this long-term support line right here. If we hit this again, am I on log chart right now? Do I want to be on log chart? No, I want to be on the regular chart. Okay. So if we come back down and touch this line again, I think that will be also a good time. You can see we kind of tapped it twice here, and it was really good times to take some profits. December 5th of last year and January 20th, the day Trump took office, was great time to take profits. I will take some profits if we hit this line again soon. And I think this will maybe be next month. I think July and August will be pretty good months for cryptocurrency. You know, of course, we'll see what happens. But if we get down towards this line again, I'll be taking some profits. And when I say that, I mean, I don't know, 25% of some of my coins that have done well, and, you know, maybe even 30%, take some profits off the table. Because if we get a pullback, I would like to be able to reinvest some of those. And of course, you want to walk out of this market with some profits. So that's what's going on. Miners also, if you want to trade stocks, I have a link below to BTCC and a link below to Bitunix, the two favorite exchanges I use for leverage trading. I have some big leverage trades open right now. I'll just show you what I have open right now on Bitunix. I have a Bitcoin cash position open. I'll show you why I open that. It'll be a good example of, you know, how you open trades. I have an Aave trade open, a Pengu trade. I have a Sui trade. I have a Syrup trade that's doing awful. But I have a really big Litecoin trade that's doing very well. I'm up 30%, up about 7 grand. And I had a FARTCOIN trade that's been up a lot. I've already taken a lot of profits, and I am really bullish on FARTCOIN as well. So we're going to hit FARTCOIN, Litecoin. I'll talk about why I opened a Bitcoin cash position and some of those other ones. Again, BTCC, if you want to trade stocks like these here, a lot of these are doing very well. And then you can also trade gold and silver and stuff like that. But Bitunix is what I leverage trade. Feel free to use that link below. It's an affiliate link, gives you a nice discount on fees, and it helps me out, of course. So feel free to use those. All right, let's go. Bitcoin. I think we're going to break out of this, maybe to the bottom and then pull up, or we might just rip out of this. And Ethereum is doing very well. Ethereum is literally on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 daily green candles. When's it going to slow down? It seems like the train is rolling. There was a record amount of shorts on Ethereum, and they're all just getting liquidated, which when you liquidate a short, that means you're basically forced to buy back into that position, and that makes the price go up even more. Solana has been lagging. Solana, do you know we're in a bull market, bro? Are you going to do something here? I think we'll see something happen for Solana. I really hope. We'll take look at that one as well, but how do I open trades? Bitcoin Cash was a great example. Okay, so I use some indicators to help me, but if we go look at the Bitcoin Cash you can see here, we've had this nice little breakout here. Now there's a couple different things I use. First of all, as I have some trading indicators, like this one, Market Cipher B. I have an affiliate link below if you want to try it out. I also use a Camel Finance indicator, which is another paid indicator. And this one actually had the weekly cycle low picked right here. So usually when that happens, you see some very big runs, weekly and daily cycle lows. And that was one confirmation I had. The other confirmation is if I go look at Bitcoin Cash divided by Bitcoin, we had a big daily buy signal on my indicator here. We had this one also, my Camel Finance indicator picked this for me and it said, here's the cycle low. And then we also were above the bull market support band, which is this big white band of moving averages. We came above it and we retested it. So I saw these couple things. I saw the indicators picking the bottoms and I said, all right, I'm gonna open Bitcoin cash position. We might see a nice move because the Camel Finance indicator said the cycle low is in for its Bitcoin pair and its regular USD pair. That's what you want to look at for a lot of these. You want to look at their Bitcoin pair and you want to look at their US dollar pair. That is a great way to see strength in some of these. Doge Bitcoin, for example, you know, this one you could see that we were kind of slowing down, going down. We came up, we tested the moving average, and then we started moving very quickly. So it would have been a good trade there. There was a really good example on, was it XTZ? Yeah, this one kind of came down and we kind of like double bottomed, but you can see it's just, the angle is slowing down. We're starting to get above some of these moving averages, and that's a great time to open these trades. Now, Litecoin had a good one as well. If we go look at Litecoin Bitcoin pair, you can look at a couple different things. So the Litecoin Bitcoin pair, you can see right here, boom, we had this come down and it was finding support here. We came off of this, hit the moving average, kind of double bottomed here, and then we blasted off. If I go to the weekly, you can see kind of the same thing. And then you can see it's now fully across the bull market support band. So I think maybe we'll see a retest of this, but this is the Litecoin Bitcoin pair. Another thing you can look at is dominance. So if you look at Litecoin again, you see kind of the same story. And you also see a perfect double bottom on Litecoin dominance. You can see we bottomed here, and then we saw a very big move. Now this is percentage share of the market. So 80%, it took back 80% of the share of the market. Again, it only had 0.2 and then it went up to, 0.4 almost, but it almost doubled its market share, okay? And we came right back down. It's funny, Market Cipher B is telling me there's market manipulation. It's a smaller coin, right? So it's easier to manipulate the price, but I got a buy signal on Market Cipher B. And we got a double bottom here that was perfectly bought up. If I go to the weekly, you can see it even better. Look at this. Here's a bottom right here. And then look at this, another bottom and then a blast off. So Litecoin is showing a lot of strength. There's an ETF approval coming. And also if we go to just the regular Litecoin pair, we go to Litecoin, you can see we have basically had it's kind of like a W pattern. Sometimes it's called Adam and Eve. It can be called a cup and handle pattern, but you can see this slow big cup and then here's the handle. And then usually what happens is your target from this is bottom to this support line. And then you can drag this from that support line up, and that target is $150-ish. So that would put us back into a new cycle high for Litecoin. And you can see it looks like we're heading that way. I mean, the last couple candles have been pretty insane. Even in the last like hour or two, we had this big push up and then a little bit of selling taking place. But usually when you get a big wick like this, that clears out a lot of the orders. So that usually means you're going to come back up and fill that. That does happen very often. So I think Litecoin is going to continue to move up very quickly. Now, Litecoin, as I said, if you've been watching the channel at all, I've been very bullish on it. I think we could see easily a $900 Litecoin this cycle. If we go to like kind of a more zoomed out little aspect here, if you just kind of look at these over time, I mean, Litecoin, let me go to like the weekly here. You can see Litecoin has been very consistent in these different cycles. And it's kind of interesting because actually if you go through like logarithmic scale and we look at the price of Litecoin, you can see we've been kind of like retesting this right here, right? So if we draw some lines like this, we basically have this big consolidation cycle that we've been doing for a very long time, multiple years since 2021. And if we break out of this, I mean, we have a very large target for some of these. You know, some people, what they'll do is they'll measure from bottom to top, and then they'll take that pump out of here. But I'm thinking we're at least getting to $900 this cycle, at a bare minimum 400. If we break above this, you will see Litecoin move very, very, very quickly. Another great example of some different charts that you can use to find pairs that are strong is if we go to FARTCOIN. It's kind of funny talking about FARTCOIN and Litecoin in the same mouthful here, but if you go to the daily chart of FARTCOIN, it has like a textbook cup and handle pattern. You can see here it is. It goes all the way down here, back up here. And again, this target is quite high for this. So it's like almost perfect textbook. Now, all we need to do is break above this, and that totally confirms this pattern, which I think will totally happen. Again, I have a big FARTCOIN position and a big Litecoin position right now on leverage. Affiliate link below for Bitunix if you want to try it. But you can see this move is almost 700%. If we put that now from this breakout zone, which I have listed in red, that brings us to at least $3, which is a new all-time high. So another target here is if you take the fib retracement tool and you take it, I already have it on the screen obviously, but if you take it from the top to this pullback here, I'll show you. So if we take, here's the pullback, right? So if you can do it two different ways, right? So I can go from this top down to here and use the fib retracement. You can see that gives us a price of about $4.40, right? So that's a potential target for, you know, the end of the bull market. Now, again, as I've said many times in a lot of these videos, is my targets now for Bitcoin and this cycle is around October 1st-ish is maybe the top for Bitcoin again, but then that's the end of Bitcoin big push, and then a lot of money should rotate into alts if it's like the other cycles. Now, history doesn't always repeat, but is often very similar. So that's what I'm kind of expecting here. I'm thinking we're going to go up until maybe mid-August, maybe a pullback, and then, you know, maybe another pump. Now, when I say a pullback, I mean, that doesn't mean that we have to make, you know, any lower price action, right? So if we break out to 130 and then August comes, we could pull back to, I don't know, the top of this. We could only pull back to like 120. I mean, we could pull all back as much as, you know, it'd be easy to retest this red line that, again, is the same support we've had all the way from back here. So we could retest that line at any time and expect volatility in a bull market. But this is how I'm picking alts. I'm looking at their dominance. I'm looking at their pair against Bitcoin. You can even look at their pair against Ethereum, because right now Ethereum dominance, you can see, is in a massive uptrend. I see a lot of people trying to short Ethereum, but I mean, you don't want to try to stop a train, right? Because I mean, this train is moving quickly. It is moving very quickly. So here's the ETH dominance. If we look at the ETH Bitcoin pair, I mean, we blasted through the bull market support band, and now we're even retesting one of the big moving averages. I have some lines drawn up here, and if we break above this, I think we're going to new all-time highs without a doubt. I mean, I think we're definitely going to new all-time highs, but Ethereum is performing well. And I think this means that alts will continue to perform well. As long as Bitcoin dominance continues to drop, I think we'll see altcoins just performing very, very well. Now, we do have one of the fib retracements at 60%. So we could see kind of a turnaround potentially short term there. I have this line drawn here that we kind of have almost rejected off of, but not exactly. I think big things are happening. I think Doge is going to make some big moves. Doge is now moving. It basically double bottomed right here and is moving up. So I like looking at dominance for coins. I like looking at their Bitcoin pair. And then you can also compare, you know, different, let me put this one back to Bitcoin dominance. And let me go check over here. There's a lot of things going on. You can also look at others. So the others chart made a new high, right, compared to this high. And we're way above the bull market support band now. Now it looks like others chart is heading up into here, which would be another 40% move, right? So that'd be pretty massive. There was another chart I wanted to check out. I saw some other really good examples. Let me find that one. Pepe's kind of had almost a double bottom here against Bitcoin. Not exactly, but if you look at kind of like this trend line here, right, you can see that we've hit this a couple times. And we've kind of, now we're back above the bull market support band. So you can see that Pepe might be showing some strength here. The one I really want us to see going is Solana. I have a big position in Solana, and Solana lately, let's take a look. I haven't took this one. Hey, we do have a double bottom on Solana. It's not a perfect double bottom, but if we draw a line kind of through this wick, there you go. So we have kind of a double bottom on Solana, and right now we're testing the bull market support band on its Bitcoin pair. So if we can break above this, Solana is going to see some strength. Meme coins are already showing their strength. Binance coin is another one I think will run. We have a triple bottom on Binance coin right now, and we're moving towards the bull market support band. So I think Binance coin could easily be $3,000 in this bull market. This is another one that's pretty like textbook here, because I mean, if you look at this line, it goes all the way back through the top of the 2019 cycle, through kind of the start of the 2021 bull market, and then it bottomed here December of 2023. It bottomed again in January of 2025, and now it's bottomed again in July. So, and it also, my Camel Finance indicator picked this as a low. If I go to my trading indicator, let's see if Market Cipher B, yeah, Market Cipher B also has a buy on the daily right here. So this is a lot of confirmation that Binance coin is going to do quite well. So that's going to be really interesting. So I'm looking at the pair here. If I go to Binance dominance, again, you see a double bottom, and my indicators pick the bottom, both of them, right? So my Market Cipher B picked it. So Binance looks like it's primed and ready to do some very large runs. So that might be a good one to get into right now if you're not balls deep in the market like I am already. But this is what I look for when I'm trying to trade some of these. Is now let's look at the Binance on here. So you can see we kind of do have some resistance overhead. But I mean, we have seen some big moves already, and I think Binance would be a good one it's been showing strength, right? We're well above the bull market support band for quite some time now, all the way since June. So it would have been obviously better to enter there, but now we have confirmation on its dominance. We have confirmation on its Bitcoin pair, and we have confirmation with a lot of my indicators saying that Binance is going to show some strength. Another fun fact is Binance has some market makers that like to dump other altcoins, and guess what? They don't dump their own coins. So they will dump some other altcoins to kind of suppress the price, but they do not do it for their own coin. So that one can show some strength. Again, Litecoin, I'm thinking to be very strong, but that's what I look for when I'm looking for high confirmation on some trades. Here's WIF. You can see this one is above the bull market support band, and it looks like it's showing a lot of strength. I bet if I go over to a pair and we add, if you don't know how to add pairs like this on TradingView, you can hit add symbol and you type in crypto, and then you type WIF USD, right? So here's the whole crypto. This is not for a specific exchange. This is just, I think it's the TradingView, just crypto chart. But you type in crypto :WIF USD, and then you can divide it by crypto, because sometimes it won't save it. So this is the best way to do it if you want to like to actually save what you got going on here. So you can hit that, hit enter. There you go. Look at on the Bitcoin pair, it's doing a big pump today. But you can see that we kind of had it bottom out here. It came up and it's been fighting with the bull market support band, and now we're actually above it. If we close the daily above it, that is very strong for WIF. So you can use this to find a lot of them. Sol Ethereum has been rough, right? So Ethereum has been taking a lot of dominance from Solana. Solana did really well, up in here, right around election time. And then with the Trump meme coin and Milana meme coin and all that, it kind of pulled back. So it's below this channel, which is rough. It's not below the 50%, so that's good. But I'm hoping Solana picks up. You can look at a lot of these this way. Here's DOT Bitcoin. Maybe this one's going to start moving. It does have a buy signal on my Market Cipher B. I don't know. The bull market support band's way down here. It's been bleeding forever. I mean, look at this. This is something that does not show strength. However, DOT usually does pretty well in some bull markets. There is some use case to it. It's old. It's popular. Let's look at ADA. ADA. It looks like it kind of double bottomed here, right? So you can see pretty much a double bottom right here. That's getting bought up. My Camel Finance indicator did it. So I feel like a broken record, but this is what I'm looking for strong pairs. This is a good way to trade. It shows their strength against other pairs. And I'm thinking a lot of these are going to start outperforming Bitcoin, at least for the next couple months, through the end of the year. Once you get into the bear market, which I think will be caused by treasury companies and all that, then it's, you know, it's all off, all bets off. But yeah, that's it for the video. It's kind of a long one, but I just want to talk about what I'm looking for in charts when I'm looking to take some profits. And again, if you want to do any leverage trading, feel free to use my affiliate links below. I'm going to hold these on for a while. My FARTCOIN, I have really high targets for. Litecoin, I have really high targets for. Right now, I have, here's my target for Litecoin, $900. That'll be $330,000 in profit. My stop loss is down here at 69, which is a $13,000 loss if we go that deep. FARTCOIN, again, I got a 990 in here. I think probably a 499 target is probably better, even like a 440. Let's do 439. That's $130,000 of profit. And if it goes down to, you know, $1, that's $18,000 loss. So that's what I'm looking for on these leverage trades. I am just using 1x leverage because I don't want to pay a lot in fees, and I'm planning to hold these for a couple more months. These other trades are just very short-term trades, so I'm not looking to hold on to these forever. So yeah, that's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, hit the like, hit the subscribe button. Have a great day, everyone. See you guys.